Ladies and gentlemen, Cowboys Nation and NFL fans around the globe, we have some absolutely stunning, jaw-dropping, franchise-shifting news breaking out of Dallas right now, news that has the potential to flip the entire NFC picture on its head and ignite an off-season frenzy unlike anything we've seen in recent years, because, yes, it's true, Najee Harris, the former Pittsburgh Steelers bell cow running back, the Alabama bruiser, the 230-pound freight train with hands soft enough to catch pass, in traffic and legs strong enough to carry a defensive line 3 yards forward, is now officially a member of the Dallas Cowboys in one of the boldest, most unexpected free agent moves of the 2025 NFL offseason. I mean, you want blockbuster? This is blockbuster. You want bombshell? This is DEFCON 1. You want the Cowboys to send a message that they're done playing small ball in the postseason and ready to go all in? This is the clearest message they've sent in a decade, because with the acquisition of Najee Harris, Dallas just supercharged their offense and put the entire NFC East on red alert. And if you thought the Eagles were going to cruise this season, you better think again, because Mike McCarthy and the front office are cooking something serious, something with grit, aggression, and finally, a true R-bone. Now let's get into this, because the implications are massive and the football world is still catching its breath. Najee Harris, a former first-round pick out of Alabama, was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2021 and immediately became the centerpiece of their offense, posting over 1,200 rushing yards as a rookie and catching 74 passes that year. He wasn't just a bruiser, he was a volume machine, a player who stayed on the field all 3 downs, picked up blitzes, ground out tough yards, and did it all without ever pointing fingers or demanding the spotlight. Over 4 seasons in Pittsburgh, Harris rushed for nearly 4,400 yards and 30 touchdowns, averaging over 1,000 yards a season despite a rotating door of offensive linemen and a passing game that ranged from Big Ben's farewell tour to a young Kenny Pickett still finding his legs. And now, with that contract expired and the Steelers opting to move in a younger, faster direction with Jaylen Warren and draft capital in the backfield, Harris hits the market. And guess who was ready with the checkbook and the vision? That's right, Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, a team that has spent the past 2 seasons trying to piece together a running game post-Zeke and failing to find that consistent threat in the backfield. Tony Pollard was explosive in spurts but ultimately left in free agency, Deuce Vaughn is still developing, and Ezekiel Elliott's return in 2024 was more about leadership than production. The Cowboys needed a back who could carry the ball 20-plus times a game, who could wear down defenses, who could keep drives alive when the passing game stalls, and that's exactly what Najee Harris brings to the table. This isn't a luxury signing, this is a foundational piece. This is the Cowboys returning to their roots: physical football, time of possession, third down conversions, red zone punisher. And let's talk about the contract real quick. It's being reported as a 3-year deal worth around $27 million, with roughly $16 million guaranteed, a signing bonus up front, and incentives for rushing yards, total touchdowns, and playoff performance. From a cap perspective, this is manageable and smart. It gives Dallas a proven player in his prime without breaking the bank, and because Harris has never missed a game in 4 years, durability is not in question. In fact, he's one of the few backs in the league who has consistently taken 300-plus touches per season and kept coming back stronger. And before you even start with the "he's not explosive enough" narrative, let's be clear: Najee's role is not to break 80-yard runs every Sunday. His job is to control the tempo, keep the chains moving, and create favorable down and distance situations for Dak Prescott, who, by the way, just got one of the best pass-blocking backs in the league added to his protection unit. That's going to matter on 3rd and long. That's going to matter when the blitz comes off the edge. That's going to matter in December football when the cold weather hits and you need someone who can push the pile for 4 yards on 3rd and 3. Now the Cowboys' offense suddenly has balance again. It's not all on Dak's shoulders. It's not all up to CeeDee Lamb to carry the load. Defenses now have to prepare for a run game that will hit them in the mouth from the opening whistle. And don't forget, Dallas still has weapons on the outside: Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, and Jake Ferguson at tight end. The play-action game is going to open up significantly. Najee doesn't just help in the run game, he helps the entire offensive system click. And from a locker room perspective, this guy is beloved. Hard-working, humble, leads by example, never complains, and stays ready. You won't find a single teammate or coach with a bad word about him. In fact, when the rumors started swirling that Dallas might be interested, players on both sides of the ball were reportedly texting each other saying, "We need that dog in the backfield." Well, guess what, they got him. Now let's talk about fan reaction, because as soon as the news broke, social media exploded. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, it was a frenzy. Cowboys fans were thrilled. Steelers fans were torn. Some couldn't believe Pittsburgh let him go. Others wished him well. But in Dallas, the move was celebrated like a Super Bowl win, because everyone knows what this means. This is the kind of signing that changes playoff outcomes. This is the kind of move that signals you're going for it now, not rebuilding, not retooling, not hoping someone emerges. No, you're plugging a proven stud into a championship-caliber roster and telling the world, "We're coming." NFC teams like the 49ers and Eagles have to take note. The Rams, the Lions, the Packers. This signing tilts the balance of power and gives Dallas an edge they've lacked for years. Think about it, when was the last time Dallas had a back with Harris's durability, consistency, and all-around game? It's a throwback move in a pass-happy league, and that's exactly why it works. While defenses load up to stop modern, wide-open offenses, Dallas is zigging while others zag, bringing physical football back to the forefront. And for those who doubt Najee's ability in year 5, just look at the tape. He still has that quick cut, that ability to grind out hidden yardage, that knack for scoring in the red zone. He doesn't need to be flashy, he just needs to be effective. And in this system, behind this offensive line, with this coaching staff, he's going to thrive. Remember, the Cowboys' O-line may not be what it was in the 2016-2018 era, but it's still anchored by Tyler Smith, Terrence Steele, and Zach Martin, and with continuity and health, they'll give Najee running lanes that weren't always there in Pittsburgh. And if Dallas adds a few wrinkles to the playbook, a bit more zone read, RPO action, maybe even some pony packages, Harris's role will only expand. He's also a perfect fit for what offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer wants: downhill running, short yardage execution, and ball control. So here we are, the deal is done. Najee Harris is a Dallas Cowboy, and the NFL landscape just shifted. Now it's time for training camp, preseason reps, learning the system, building chemistry, and when September hits, don't be surprised if Najee Harris is leading the league in touches by week 4. This is a move that makes Dallas more dangerous, more complete, more ready. And if you're not excited yet, check your pulse, because this is what championship teams do. They recognize a weakness and they go fix it with authority. They don't wait. They don't hope. They act. And the Cowboys just acted in a big, loud, Texas-sized way. Najee Harris in Dallas? It's real. It's happening. And it just might be the missing piece in their Super Bowl puzzle. Stay tuned, because the 2025 season just got a whole lot more interesting.